Hey, what's up YouTube, Scavenger here, and we're back on day 22. Now, sorry for the gap, I guess, between the last few videos. Back at university now, holiday's over, so I am going to struggle to find time to record these videos. So, hopefully I can keep it up, but I doubt I will be able to. We've jumped back into the top 10. As we can see, we're in 9th place, which is pretty good. I'm not going to jump much higher than that. We might just be able to edge up into, maybe, if we're lucky, we might be able to get up into 7th, but I mean, I doubt it. We captured once today, or actually we just captured these provinces yesterday, and I don't think they're going to get us that far. It'll get us somewhere, but I don't think it's going to get us far enough. We've also taken these islands down here, which is really, really good. It'll also be nice to kind of take away Madagascar's only food producing province. He's slowly been building himself back up, and I can't wait to kill him, quite frankly. Simple as that. So, taking this province off him will half his food production and leave him in a bit of a tight situation. Ooh, what's happening down here? He actually attacked. Persia attacked them. It's an interesting move. He's now at war with Sumatra and New Zealand, and I know for a fact that Venezuela is keen on jumping in as well. I mean, I'm not surprised at all that this happened. So this is where Madagascar's getting all the food. That's interesting. Well, getting all the land, rather. Okay, so that's interesting to see. However, Sumatra's main islands are okay, and considering he also attacked New Zealand, who now controls all of Australia, and he's got Venezuela coming for him, it's about to be a bad time for Persia. So that's awesome to see. Further up here, we can see that this player as well has attacked, weirdly enough, British Columbia, so they've now pissed off the Americans, I think. It's a little hard to say at the moment, but I think the Americans are generally on our side, but I mean, I'm still trying to figure that out. Up here we can see the last of Chad's units, Lord Kek's units. He's slowly been pushed back out of here, and he's fought a retreating battle, so he's actually done pretty well and inflicted quite a few losses and slowed them down. North Ural, who did go on a massive raid, dealt some awesome damage, but he was unable to, I guess, win. Now, it was pretty good that he did that, considering the fact that he was about to get attacked. So he took the initiative and took the battle to them, and was able to deal a lot of damage. It's a shame he didn't just wait a few more days. So our peace deal, our non-aggression pact with the Middle Eastern players, so Iraq, Saudi Arabia, and Persia, is coming to an end, and when that ends, we're going to jump back over and we're going to attack them again. So at the moment we are grouping up our forces. As you can see, we've got rockets heading into position. We have assembled an army, funnily enough. I know, odd for me having an army, not a particularly big one, but bigger than normal. So we've got that moving into position as well, and that's going to be our main invasion force. We've also got our fleet heading around to assist. However, this is going to take a brief stop up here and deal a little bit of damage to Yugoslavia's army. Now, since the last episode, we've obviously captured Spain and we've captured Italy. However, every now and then a convoy seems to slip through, and it doesn't help that DF Pilot is not too active with the scouting. So this sort of thing's been happening a lot. So I've killed the units in here, and it's now time for DF, whenever he wakes up, to move back in there and capture it all back. Last night we were able to take out half of Yugoslavia's air force, and that was a massive blow. We did it without taking any casualties, which we were pretty proud of. Our air force has grown a bit. I lost a few tactical bombers stupidly, which kind of annoyed me. So we could have about 15 tactical bombers, but mistakes were made. Anyway, so I mean, if we come down here and that was late, that was yesterday morning. We come into here and we have a look at Yugoslavia. We can see where we took out all those naval bombers and aircraft was where we attacked them last night. So we would carry that on. However, Iraq has been a real pain in the ass. He seems to be doing everything possible to piss us off, considering the non-aggression pact. He's blocked us off here, so we can't get our troops across, and there's a navy, and Yugoslavia's navy isn't here, so we can't go via the sea. So Iraq is really being annoying right now, Torpedo. Really, really pissing us off with this sort of stuff. I mean, non-aggression pact with him, and I mean, I guess at the end of the day, he's not being aggressive. However, he's really going out of his way to slow us down and stop us from fighting the wars we are already engaged in. So I'm going to take that into account when I consider a peace deal with him. Oh, he's moved his capital. Can I get... I don't think I'll be able to get a paratrooper in there anymore. Oh, that's even closer. That's perfect. Thank you, Torpedo. Thank you. Hopefully your capital stays there. So what the plan is I'm going to fly paratroopers out to there, and I can use it to raid into the core. Now, at the moment, I still just don't have that little extra range. I wonder if I might be able to get in from... No. Need a little bit closer, and we need the upgrade. So at the moment, our paratroopers are just out of range of that capital. So close. However, what we are going to do on day 24 is we're going to make it a priority to research the next level paratrooper. Once we get this paratrooper, we'll get another 50 kilometers added to our range, and that'll be able to put us in range of Saudi... Oh, no. Don't do that. I'll be able to put us in range of Saudi Arabia's capital, I believe. At least I hope. So, I mean, I'm hoping an extra 50 kilometers will get us in there. Hard to say. I think it's just going to be my luck. They'll land us right on the border and not get us in there. At the same time, though, it will definitely chuck us in range of Iraq's. Iraq's capital before was sitting right in here, I think it was. Baghdad? Yeah, Baghdad. So we couldn't get in there. However, with his capital up there, oh, thank you. Thank you, Torpedo. We'll be able to jump in there once we get the upgrade. Saying that, I'm not really sure how this attack is going to go down. Obviously, we're going to have to start by crippling Saudi Arabia's navy, which isn't going to be overly hard. He doesn't have too many ships, and North Sudan's cruisers alone should be enough. The hard part is going to be getting through Iraq's air force, which is massive at the moment. We do have a large air force ourselves, and I mean, with our 26 interceptors, and if we select DF pilots, 21 interceptors, and if we come down here, we can see that North Sudan has 19 interceptors, and our ally in the south has 15 interceptors. So we have a lot of interceptors, a lot of air power. However, it's concentrating all of that in one place. When we need it, it's going to be the hard part. I mean, it's easy enough to assemble a force and fight individually. However, if we want to beat Iraq's air force, we have to work together, and that's going to be the hard part in that fight. So, I mean, in terms of how things are going to play out in Europe, we're probably going to use the armies we have in here. DF has a very large army in this region, and it should be more than enough to smash through Iraq. However, it's going to come down to whose side the Americans are on, which is going to be interesting because we're not entirely sure. We've got a convoy landing here at the moment, and I'm not quite sure of its intentions. I mean, you got to... In order to get trust, you got to give trust. So I'm putting a lot of trust in Colorado at the moment that he's not going to land and attack me. I'm hoping that he's going to land and march up here. In the event he does attack me, not a big deal. His air force is that, and he's going up against that, and his army is that, going up against that. So wouldn't be the smartest move if he did invade. And on the other side of things, we have North USA up here, who does have a very large army, about 50 units in the region. However, it's all light tanks, artillery, and infantry. No air force, no air protection. So if he was to attack, I'd probably use my air force to deal as much damage as possible and slowly fall back, if I needed to this line here. I can hold up in these positions relatively easily and deal a hell of a lot of damage. So that's the plan, really. There's not much more to it than that. In terms of taking out Iraq's territories, he has a weak spot in his airbase network. He has this one airbase here, which really holds the whole thing together. Take out this, it'll inhibit his ability to get planes, especially interceptors and bombers up here. So if we take out that, we should be able to slow him down. Considering he's also stacking nav bombers with his forces as well, it'll make it even harder. So destroy that. I'm pretty confident we can cripple his airway network. Now, there was another airbase over here that I remember being important. Where was it? It may have been... I think he buffed it. There was one around here somewhere that was another weak point that we could target. So it doesn't look like we'll be able to do that anymore. We have a look. Who's here at Wolf at the moment? Just North Ural. Lucky guy. So yeah, that's really the plan. There's not much more to it than that. We're going to use our navy to jump over into Saudi Arabia. We're going to use our paratroopers to raid capitals and capture cities, and we're going to use our army and air force up here to capture most of Europe back. At the same time, though, we'll also have to push around and fight Yugoslavia, who still has a really large army. However, it now appears that Yugoslavia is moving his forces up to here, which makes it even easier to deal with. Yugoslavia has a pretty all-round good army, however his air force is still a problem as well. His air force we can deal with, however his army is well equipped with anti-air guns, artillery, anti-tank guns, and tanks and infantry. So there's not much that we can really throw at this to destroy it. The best thing we can really do is target it with rockets. However, I'm saving my rockets for fighting over here. I'd really like to be able to take out some of these air bases. So, I mean, although it's going to be pretty hard, if we can potentially take out 1, 2, and 3 air bases, we will cut them off from the ability to fight us down here. They won't be able to get any aircraft down, and that will give us a few hours. However, at the same time, as though we'd like to do this, it's also where the majority of the navy is. So it does make sense to launch an invasion up here. However, we then be under the air force, so it's hard to say. Anyway, I think I'm going to leave. Oh no, I've still got more stuff to talk about. Let's have a look in the research tab. In the research tab, you can see that we are researching anti-air level 2 and aircraft carrier level 2. Now, the reason we're getting aircraft level 2 is on day 24. Oh, I've just got so much stuff I need to research. Day 24 is a big day. Day 24, we want to research rocket level 3, we want to research paratroopers level 3, we want to get tactical bombers and interceptors. We also, was there anything else? I think that was it. We want to get all those upgrades at once, but obviously we can only get 2. So the reason we're getting aircraft carriers is so when we get level 4 tactical bombers, we have space to launch tactical bombers from our aircraft carriers. That will give us a massive advantage because we're no longer limited to our airbase network. Torp knows how to target air bases, and he will. So being able to base our aircraft from carriers means he can't sink them with, well, he can't destroy them with spies. He can target them with rockets. However, rockets aren't that great against ships, especially at this point in the game. 0 damage. And his air force, meh, not going to do much against a stack this big. It wouldn't be worth it. So being able to base aircraft from carriers will be a massive advantage. So we're getting that carrier upgrade. The reason we're getting level 2 anti-air is because there wasn't really much else to get, and we are going up against players with large air forces. So we need to make sure our own stacks have really decent anti-air protection. And to be honest, I don't think we have enough. At least that stack up there. This stack down here is a little better with 8 anti-air guns. You want to attack that. Every time you attack that, you get 40 damage thrown back in your face. However, once we get level 2 anti-air guns, we go from throwing 40 damage back to throwing 48 damage back. So, you know, that's quite a big bonus right there. Anyway, in terms of what we're training a whole heap of submarines, and that's really about it. We also got some paratroopers in there, good to keep that production going. A tactical bomber to even our numbers to 10. And an artillery piece. So what we're building is we're doing a few upgrades in food producing provinces just to keep that food up, as we can see, +0, running a fine line there. We need to increase that. And we're also building air bases just to make sure we can maneuver quickly and effectively when the war does start. So the war will probably start once our non-aggression pact ends tomorrow. So tomorrow, day change. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.